Hello, I'm Dr. Olson, and this is a video for Math 100 on section 1.5. Please take out your 1.5 handout on finding linear equations. We're going to be doing some examples together. Before going to the 1.5 handout, let's review from the section 1.4 handout the very important formula y equals mx plus b. We're going to be using this equation throughout the rest of chapter 1 and chapter 2. This is the equation for a line. So here we have the 1.5 handout, and I'm going to be starting with the flowchart today. And this assignment at the bottom here is being made today. So I think I'm going to put the flowchart for finding equations on the back of the sheet. This is a flowchart for finding the equation of a line. Flowchart for finding the equation of a line. And I'm going to be using up most of the piece of paper here. And down at the bottom is going to be the form of our answer. So leave yourself some blank space, and then down here at the bottom, we're going to put the final step, write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to show you this flow chart, and then I'm going to do some examples. My camera's not updating. Let me see. Okay, so I think maybe I've got my technical issues resolved. This is going to be at the bottom of our flow chart. The simplest, easiest case is when they give things to you on a silver platter. So the easiest case I'll put right here, this is where M and B are given. If they tell you the slope and they tell you the y-intercept, you just come right to your answer and you write it down. That doesn't happen very often, but it could happen in a word problem. The second case is where you're given the slope and a point. Let's write that here. Given M and a point. Remember, M is the slope. So if we're given M and a point, like x1, y1, what we're going to do is we're going to substitute to find B, because I need to know M and B. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to substitute and solve for B. And now I know M and I know B, and I can come and I can write my equation in the form y equals mx plus b. I'll show an example of that today. The hardest case, it's not too hard, but it's the hardest case compared to these other ones, is if you're given 2 points. Given 2 points. So we do not know M and we do not know B. What is it that we should find first? If we have 2 points, we should find M first. So we're going to use M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to give us the slope. Once we have the slope, we're going to take one of our points and substitute to solve for B. So we might put another arrow on here. Pick one point. We're going to pick one point and use the slope to substitute to find b, and then we're going to write the equation in this form. So let's jump over to the homework and see our first example. The first example I'd like to do for section 1.5 is number 5. Let's see what the directions are. Find the equation of the line that has the given slope and contains the given point. Then use a graphing calculator to check your answer. So let's write down on our paper a slope of 3/5 and a point of 20,7. So let's see where we are on the flow chart. On the flow chart, we're right here. We're given the slope and a point. We're going to substitute to find b. So let's write down y equals mx plus b. The more times you write this down, the more comfortable you get with it. M is going to go into, 3/5 is going to go into the M position. 20 is going to go into the X position. 7 is going to go into the Y position. And B we don't know, so we bring it down. So we have a little bit of algebra here. When we're multiplying a fraction times a number on the side, this number on the side is actually on the top. Put it over 1 if you want, and there is some simplifying here. 5 goes in here once, 5 goes in here 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. So I have 7 equals 12 plus b. If I get to going too fast, you can always pause the video. To solve for b, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. 7 plus -12 is -5. So let's see where we're at on the flow chart. I have found b. Now I'm ready to write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals 3/5 x minus 5. Put a box around your answer. Now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate Desmos now. We're going to be using this in this course, and this will be the first demonstration of Desmos. So let's jump over to the internet. Here I am at a browser, and we're going to type in desmos.com. Desmos.com, and we're going to go to the graphing calculator. This is a free graphing calculator. It's a fantastic tool. And we're going to put in our equation. Nice thing about Desmos is you don't have to use any menus or anything. No drop-down menus to figure out. We put in our equation, and we check to see if it is correct. We're going to be checking this against the original conditions of the problem. The original conditions of the problem said the slope was supposed to be 3/5. Well, 3/5 is less than 1, so this is below a 45-degree angle. That's in a general idea. And I can see that rise over run here is up 3/5. Now, you can put a point on here and you can start dragging, and we want to check to see if the point 20,7 is on here. So let's drag a point here and see if we can get to 20,7. Bada bing, bada boom. 20,7 is on the graph. This equation is correct. Now let's go to our next example. The next example I'd like to do today is number 29. Let's read the directions. Find the equation of the line that passes through the two given points, and then verify your result with a graphing calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, great. If you don't, use Desmos. So let's write down our two ordered pairs for number 29. -4, 2, and 2, -5. So we have 2 points given. Let's see where we're at on the flow chart. We're right here. The first thing we need to do is calculate the slope. M equals y2 minus y1. over x2 minus x1. Negative 5 minus 2 is the same as negative 5 plus negative 2, which is negative 7. And here, 2 minus negative 4 is the same as 2 plus a positive 4, which is 6. The slope is negative 7, 6. Now, once you have the slope determined, then you're going to be picking one of your points and substituting to find b. Sometimes there's one point that's a little bit easier than the other one. It doesn't really matter though. Y equals mx plus b. I think I will go ahead and use maybe this point, 2 comma negative 5. A lot of times students write x and y underneath that so that they substitute more correctly. I'll leave that up to you. 2 goes into the x position, put that under x. Negative 7, 6 goes into the m position, put that under m. Bring down the equal sign. Negative 5 goes into the y position. B we don't know, so it needs to come down. So there isn't too much simplification here. 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here 3 times. So I have negative 5 equals negative 7/3 plus b. This is why we need to be able to do fractions. So I'm going to add 7/3 to both sides. And I need to get a common denominator of thirds. Negative 5 over 1. If I multiply by 3 over 3, it becomes negative 15/3. 7/3 plus negative 15/3 is equal to b. Positive 7 and negative 15 is negative 8. So we have negative 8/3 is b. And now I'm going to be writing the equation in the correct form. Y equals negative 7/6x minus 8/3. We should have a value in for x, a value in for m and a value in for b, but x and y should be in the equation. Now I'm going to jump over to Desmos and check that. Here we are at Desmos, and we're checking to see if this equation is correct. I put in the equation, and it should go, first of all, through the point negative 4, 2. Negative 4, 2 is right here. That does check. And the second point that this is supposed to go through is 2, negative 5. Positive 2, negative 5. It does go through that point. This equation is correct. Now, the final example I'd like to do today is number 41. Let's go back to our textbook and look at the directions for question 41. Find the equation of the line that contains the given point and is parallel to the given line. Use a graphing calculator to verify your result. So let's write down on our paper the point 4, 5 and the equation y equals 3x plus 1. This question has to do with parallel lines. And there's probably going to be some questions about perpendicular lines. Let me point this note out to you here on our handout. Information about parallel lines and perpendicular lines are back on the 1.3 handout. So let me show you on Desmos conceptually what's going on here. So the given line is y equals 3x plus 1. So here's the given line. And the point that's given is 4, 5. And 4, 5 is going to be right up here. Notice that 4, 5 is not on the given line. What we want is a line parallel. And I'm going to just eyeball it here. Let me get my little pen. So the line we want is going to be going through this point. So it's going to be a line something like this parallel to the given line. Parallel means it needs to have the same slope. Okay, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with my technology, so I'm going to switch to a different way because my camera is not working very well. So here's question 41. Since it's going to be a parallel line, we're going to be using a slope of 3 because we want the same slope. So on our flow chart, we have the slope and a point. So I'm going to be substituting in to find B. 5 goes into the Y position. 3 goes into the M position. 4 goes into the X position. And we bring down B. Please work down your paper. 5 equals 12 plus B. If I subtract 12 from both sides, I get B equals -7. Now I do know M and B, and I can write my answer. Y equals 3x minus 7. And we can check that over on Desmos. Let's put in the equation y equals 3x minus 7 and see if it's parallel and see if it goes through the point. Y equals 3x minus 7. Bada bing, bada boom. It is parallel and it does go through the desired point. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the second video that you're going to be watching today. It's the first mindset video. And you're going to be finding this video over at MyMathLab. It's an assignment over there. And you're going to watch the video and you're going to answer a couple of questions. And by answering those questions, you can get 2 points of extra credit. This does need to be done sometime in the next 2 weeks. It's a short video. I don't even think it's 10 minutes long, and the questions are easy. So it's an easy way to get 2 points of extra credit, and the growth mindset is very important, and it's going to help you be successful in Math 100 and in college in general. So I'm going to share my screen. And we're over here at MyMathLab. The video is going to be found inside of MyMathLab. Go to assignments. And here we have the assignments, the homework. Here's the skills check, the skills review, the homework that's due this week, the homework that's due next week. And here is watch the first mindset video, and the due date is here. And right here is the video. It's 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And after you've watched the video, then the 2 questions will open up and you'll click here and answer those. If you have any questions, of course, make sure to ask. This has been a video on section 1.5 for Math 100 and pointing you over to the other video on the growth mindset. Have a great day. Go Leathernecks.